Hi everyone. The theme today is depression, but it's also the positive side of depression. Usually we think about it as a very bad situation, a situation of suffering. And of course, I'm not going to sort of insult those who are depressed, saying that this is mostly a very nice thing. It isn't. It brings many times intense suffering. But then again, there is also a sort of a positive side to depression. And it's important to say something about it. And as a clinician, I have observed it many times. This means what? Some people, they are depressed partially also because they are sensitive people, because they pay attention to the others, to themselves, to the world. And sometimes it's not so easy. They suffer a bit because of that. Also, whatever the cause is, and many times behind depression there is trauma, there is an amount of previous suffering during childhood, during adolescence years, and so on. But what happens with depression is that we sort of turn inside, we introvert. And as we do so, we have the chance of understanding more about ourselves, of learning more about who we are, how we feel, and why, and when, and where. And this helps in our personal and even spiritual development. Now, lots of people, they just try to fight depression, and sometimes not such a good idea. I would say that this is a little bit like when something like being caught in a sea current when we are swimming. If we try to fight it, chances are that we'll become exhausted and drown. Actually, I have this direct experience that happened to me. Fortunately, I knew that the best thing to do would be to allow the current to take me through the ocean, but not just quitting. This was about observing the direction of the current and then swimming out of it in a sort of a sideways version. And then, okay, it was not so easy, but then just swim back to land. That's what I did, and this is what sort of saved me. In a way, that's what we can do with depression. If we try too intensively and too soon to fight it, sometimes it doesn't work so well as when we allow ourselves to retreat inside, to feel our sadness, sometimes feel our guilt or whatever negative feeling we are experiencing, like anguish. We allow depression to take us with its current down inside, and we observe what is going on. We observe our thought, we observe our feelings, we observe our situation, and eventually we allow ourselves to slowly get into a movement inside out that sort of will allow us to let's say, to swim out of depression. That's a good way. Also, I always like to tell people that if we pay attention, lots of big writers have been depressed, and world literature owes them a lot because out of their depression, they brought a fine-tuned knowledge from observation of their own depressive feelings, of their own emotions in general, and the emotions of people in general. And the byproduct was great literature talking about human emotion. So often, the fact that I get depressed is not just negative, it's also a sort of a growth opportunity that I can use for my personal and spiritual growth. And this is the main idea for today. when we get depressed, one portion of it doesn't need to be so negative. Sometimes it's positive even. And let's take this into account. And as usual, if you like this, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. See you.